Hello, my name is Tu, and I will be presenting on my research project that focused on Hermione Granger's impact on modern day society. The scope of my research was to inform the modern day female, specifically younger girls, that the character of Hermione Granger is an iconic female role model for them in regard to standing up for what they believe in and not yielding in the presence of controversy. Her ongoing presence in pop culture and the current political atmosphere sets the precedence of their own beliefs and ideals, which can impact future generations of females for finding their voices and supporting what they deem influential for prosperity. So, the background of Hermione begins with the debut of the Harry Potter series written by J.K. Rowling back in 1990. She was the female protagonist alongside Harry Potter, and she can be described as intelligent, brave, loyal, compassionate, and an activist. Her name has been dropped multiple times in pop culture, as the actress who played her in the movies, Emma Watson, is a self proclaimed feminist currently combating the issues regarding gender equality. Watson's vocal role in today's world has also been seen as reflecting similar views as Hermione's, creating the sense that Hermione is also a feminist icon. Hermione has also been compared to 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Social media users took it upon themselves to see certain similarities between the two powerful females, and soon you could see Hillary Clinton's campaign slogan, "I'm with her," next to the hashtag "I'm with Hermione." Another reason Hermione has been brought up in debate recently is due to the casting in J.K. Rowling's play A Cursed Child, where they cast an African American female to play Hermione. This decision ignited a lot of support, but also quite a lot of backlash, based on the fact that Hermione was played by a white actress in the film versions of the series. Hermione's role in today's world, though, has also been displayed in protests across the world. During the Women's March on Washington of 2017, there were signs that referenced Hermione and her strength of supporting rights for all. Based on this context, I theorized that Hermione Granger was just as prosperous of a role model and an icon of female empowerment in today's modern society. With that being said, I realized that although my theory was that Hermione Granger was being discussed in modern day due to her being an icon of female empowerment since 1990, there were other hypotheses that I probably needed to weigh against each other. Therefore, for my research project, I conducted an analysis of competing hypotheses in order to calculate which hypothesis was the least inconsistent when related to my data or evidence. In the end, I came up with three separate hypotheses. The first being that Hermione Granger is a role model for prosperity regarding her involvement in female empowerment. The second one, since I regarded a substantial amount of political issues relating to Hermione, was that Hermione Granger's impact on modern day society was directly related to her forced participation as political propaganda. The last hypothesis I came up with was based on the controversy clouding over the Cursed Child play's casting. So I hypothesized that the controversy of the African American Hermione rendered Hermione's character as a person of color's icon within the past few years. Overall, my research was going to determine why exactly Hermione Granger's character was still being discussed and iconized in today's world. Was it because she embodies how females should act and because people look up to her because of the way she stands up to people and doesn't waver from her beliefs? Or is it because she was viewed as being similar to a female presidential candidate? Or is it simply because she was part of a controversial decision surrounding the play? For my actual analysis, I wanted to identify what was being said about Hermione in today's society, so I used Twitter to create my first search string of hashtag Hermione Granger. As I collected more tweets with this hashtag, including this tweet by the official LEGO Twitter account, I was able to discover more that correlated with my research, such as Hermione 2020, I'm with Hermione, Emma Watson, and Black Hermione. In total, I collected 117 tweets, and through those, I established 5 emergent themes that ran throughout the data: female empowerment, idol, multicultural, intelligence, and multi-generational. A total of 61% of the tweets related to female empowerment, while a subtheme of politically charged tweets emerged from 44% of the total tweets collected. The female empowerment theme touched on a lot of traits that reflected in Hermione's character that the Twitter users thought empowered females and gender equality. The politically charged sub-theme correlated with the 2016 presidential election, where Hermione and Hillary Clinton were compared to be like-minded individuals and that their so-called quote-unquote villainous opponents were also of the same mind. The next theme was idol, which was portrayed in approximately 27% of the total tweets. These tweets were counted due to the fact that Twitter users would state that Hermione was their idol. The multicultural theme, in 17% of the total tweets, directly related to the decision to cast a black Hermione, where the tweets were either strictly supporting the choice or responding to the negative reactions the decision created. The theme of intelligence, which came up in about 16% of the total tweets, was from the Twitter user's description of Hermione. Her mind is mentioned a great deal in the series and the movies, so one of the first traits people use to describe her is smart, and they aspire to be as logical and intelligent as her. The very last theme that I came up with was multi-generational, which was seen through the numerous tweets that referenced a parent reading Harry Potter to their children or that Hermione Granger was already positively impacting their children. Once I determined my themes, I conducted the analysis of competing hypotheses, and I did so by scoring each piece of evidence with each of my hypotheses based on how consistent they were with each other. Based on the results of the analysis, I could conclude that my least inconsistent hypothesis was my first one, concluding that Hermione Granger is prevalent in today's society as an icon of female empowerment. It is also important to note that none of the tweets collected for this research precluded 2015, further enhancing the conclusion of my results. It was easy for Hermione to be mentioned within a political issue or regarding the debate of the play's decision, as those recently occurred in the past few years. However, Hermione's role model image prevailed over the other two based on my results. If the younger generation is impacted by Hermione Granger, then we must continue to share the story of her and Harry Potter with the younger generation. If this is done, then there will be a larger group of powerful females in society's future that will follow in her footsteps and fight for what they believe in. If Hermione's character does fall to the wayside, it won't be the total end of female empowerment. However, Hermione not only stands for intelligence, discipline, and bravery, but she is also a relatable and likable character. Celebrities such as Emma Watson and Beyonce, who have both shown their support for females and gender equality, are a little bit more difficult to be relatable because the platform that they can use for their voices is not the same platform as a regular day person. Hermione, on the other hand, is a typical schoolgirl who was raised in a world very similar to her readers, minus the magic, therefore making her and her actions much more achievable to all. The way she is idolized is portrayed in the multitude of protest signs and the prosperity of her character in social media, so the implications of her non-existence in the real fight for female empowerment would be considerably lacking without her spirit and her inspiration. So within my research, there were some gaps and limitations, and one of those included the fact that Twitter was the only social media platform I used to gather my data. My data might have been a bit more balanced with negative reactions to Hermione Granger if I had used Facebook or Instagram. So there is a potential for a substantial gap of data that probably would have correlated more with the cons of Hermione Granger's character rather than just the pros. Another was how the data collection was selected, as I chose tweets for my evidence that related to my overall research. I tried to mitigate this by using search strings that would bring up a bunch of different tweets, both pro and anti Hermione. So that's how I tried to mitigate the limitations and gaps. That is the conclusion of my research project. I hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you.